Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith rules like a dictator, and I'm about to prove that. That proof comes from what most would describe as the darkest day in the county jail's history, when a completely innocent inmate that was dealing with a mental episode was purposely tortured and unalived by deputies and corrections officers. Now, thankfully, one officer inside that jail decided this is enough. They had seen enough torture and enough of this corruption that they were finally going to try to do something about it. So that officer went to the jail's computer camera monitors and took a video using their personal cell phone of part of the incident. And the officer knew they couldn't trust Sheriff Nick Smith, so the video, and I'm not exactly clear how or who all shared it, but the video was then shared to a few trusted citizens outside of the sheriff's office, citizens that had nothing to do with the sheriff's office. Now, what did Sheriff Smith and his chief deputy, Ralph Williams, do when they found out this video had been shared out? Did he discipline the deputies and corrections officers? Did he immediately suspend them, fire them, charge them? No, he and his chief deputy, Ralph Williams, and I think there was another employee or two involved, drafted a search warrant with allegedly false information and took it to one of the circuit court judges there in Walker County. So the judge signed the search warrant, and then Sheriff Smith himself, along with Chief Deputy Ralph Williams, and like I said, I think there were another employee or two involved, went literally door to door to some of these completely innocent citizens with this search warrant, demanding they seize their personal cell phones just because they thought these people had this video sent to them. Now, luckily, one of those citizens was like, oh, hell no. No, that's not legal. And so somehow the judge was notified immediately what they were out doing. And the judge was like, whoa, no, no. And rescinded the search warrant immediately, thankfully. But that was not before, like I said, Smith and Williams, and I think there was another employee or two involved, went to some of these completely innocent citizens where they were located, beating on their door, demanding their personal cell phones, using intimidation and fear and this alleged false search warrant. I can't tell you how much of an overreach that is. Like, this is one of the craziest things I've ever heard of a sheriff doing. It does a couple things. It shows, number one, that Mr. Sheriff Nick Smith, who I don't know what was going on. I didn't know any of that was going on in my jail. Absolutely knew about this incident. And this is the incident that we're talking about is the one that has caused all these recent federal indictments on most of his agency, and hopefully him soon. But it shows that they knew they had done something really, really bad, and it shows the extent that they were willing to go to keep it from getting out. That's Sheriff Nick Smith. Again, corruption at its worst. Thinking that you have the power to just go seize random citizens' cell phones because you think they may have a copy of a video. I mean, that is as crazy as it sounds, it is. But another thing it also tells me, and I'm sure most of you would agree, you think this is the first time they've done anything crazy like this? No, this is just the first time they've been caught red-handed with this. But there's no way this was the first time. That shows you how they've been ruling that county. The fear, the intimidation, the corruption. That's Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith and his chief deputy, Mr. Ralph Williams. Now, I think most of you would agree they both deserve to be sent to federal prison for a very long time, and hopefully that's where they end up.